Good evening, everybody. It's exciting. There's a lot of comments that nobody's against the bikes or the bike lanes, so I guess it's going to be a nice and easy crowd, right? But Ronald Bautista. I've been living in Hoboken for 16 years. I'm a Hoboken High School graduate. I've been walking around all over Hoboken. I used to work in Hoboken, so I had to walk to get to work. But now, just like the 18,000 pedestrians that walk through Washington Street, or the 56% of the workers that commute to work, that they commute to work through public transportation, that's what I do right now. I work in New York City. Now, instead of walking from, and also I'm not against cars. I think cars are great, but it's also a matter of how much space do we have and what's the most efficient way to move around and give people options. Now, I'm not a cyclist. I don't ride my bicycle for recreation. I don't go on tours. I don't go to Liberty State Park, although I wish I could. It's something that's nice. But I use it, and many people that I've seen use it to get from point A to point B. And people cannot do that. If I live on 4th and Jackson, I cannot go safely all the way to the waterfront to get to wherever I have to get to, right? So when I go to Mamoon's on Washington Street and 5th Avenue, I bike there. I go and get my food instead of paying for delivery and having somebody to drive a car and double park or having to drop off at my house. I've taken the bike that's on the corner of my house that sometimes there's no bikes there because people are using them. And then that's how I get to the different restaurants or to get a haircut in order to do what I have to do in a faster way. I save half the time as if I walked. Now, Hoboken, yeah, there's a lot of cars. There's 9,000 cars that go through Washington Street, but there's also a lot of people that walk. I'm here today because, and I've been pushing for this, for the protected bike lanes, not because this is a project that just started and that was announced a couple of months ago with the project and spoken about. I went to the first community meeting that was for Washington Street. When it was the planning meeting, there was a lot of people that were present there. And most of the projects, if not all, included a bicycle lane that were proposed by the people. We were given different pieces of what should be incorporated into the different models. And then we were the ones that were putting a bike lane or a better sidewalk, or how many lanes should the cars have, etc. So we were part of that participation. And I'm happy that today there's so many people here and there's a lot of passion and a lot of comments, but there's also a lot of comments that ask for facts but don't listen to the facts. And there's facts that this is not a project that just started in Hoboken. This is not a project that started in Amsterdam. This is not a project that started in Newark. This is a project that started in the 1990s in Bogota, in Colombia, not in Bogota, New Jersey. So it has been incorporated in Lima. They've also had to restrict car use, not because they don't like cars, not because people are not using them, but because, everybody's complaining today because Washington Street is not doing well. Everybody's saying there's not enough space. We cannot find parking. So we should all be happy when we see somebody riding a bicycle on the street, because then we say, hey, that's one more chance that I have to find a parking spot. That is one less car that's in front of me during the traffic. All right? So I think that we have to start thinking about those things, that we cannot fit all the cars. If we just say, hey, so how about we just make it for cars, there's still not going to be enough space. In Beijing, if we want to not go into Europe and South America, in Beijing they have a 50-lane highway, and they were still in a traffic jam for hours because there's not enough space for cars. If every family in Hoboken had a car and was driving on Washington Street to do shopping, which is not the case. Not everybody that goes through a street goes to the shopping. We wouldn't fit. There would be a traffic jam. So it's about how do we allow for more people that actually need the street and drive around, because there's people that need to, and I realize and I understand it. Okay? That's when you have to think that we are saving space for them. And that's what we're here to do. And I hope that we can hear the facts from the engineers, and we can hear the facts from other cities that have been doing and fixing the problems, and that we should be thinking about not committing the same mistakes and just staying the way we are, and then complain about it later on that nothing's getting done and that the situation is not better. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.